Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram D&D podcast. This is Matt, and you are listening to A Tangled Web, Chapter 15, The Rotting Fields.
Hard is the poison to the heart of a sick.
The sound of a blade shearing through fabric can be heard through the crack of a partially ajar door. As the camera slowly zooms in, you can see movement reflected in a slightly tarnished mirror across the room. As the camera focuses on that reflection, there are half a dozen heads held upright on a shelf. They are recognizable as humanoids of various races, but the features seem to be off, and several look to be missing pieces. The creak and groan of wood being dragged across stone echoes through the room as a dark shape moves, partially obscuring the mirror. The camera refocuses on the reflection, and it is Jiden's maskless face, his eyes squinting over his stitching in a cloak that replicates one of House Vandry. A spectral hand floats past his head, duplicating pages that look to have been ripped out of a notebook. There is much to consider, brother. We have many different options that are now open to us. We can perhaps use Galora for information. She knows who we are. We don't think she's dangerous to us. A resource with an expiration date, yes. The pages that we give her. He waves his hand, holding an opal sewing needle threaded with silvery spider silk towards that floating hand. Will be of no use once we return them to that pitiful creature Yuland and send him home. He proved very useful and will continue to be. Jaden's hand stops sewing. You disagree? He said he could find out more. Ah, yes, imp. It does speak of its own accord too often. As they say, loose lips. We must act on the information we have, brother. He sent the children to the Rotfather and to retrieve a gem so they can save their mother's soul from the pit fiend Arbister. A toothy smile spreads across Jiden's face. The irony of our goal is quite exciting. Them saving their mother's soul, and us wanting to destroy ours. On that note, eternity's end. Someone's hubris has outgrown their own plane, brother, and they decided that the bowels of Faerun would be their grand entrance into ours. First things first, we make a plan to save Sylavar's children and remove any other distractions, so we may focus and begin putting the pieces together on how you get what you deserve. Revenge. That's right, brother. Thank you for reminding me. We must meet with little Asina Vandry, no doubt only to continue on like her mother.
The fox lies under a blanket of fresh snow. It moves slightly, and we see its eyes. One of them is frozen shut. The other looks tired, resigned to its fate. In the reflection of that eye, for just a moment, we see a man step out of the forest in a dirty, blood-soaked rag. And then he is gone. Suddenly, the fox's eyes open wide. With a burst of newfound energy, he shakes off the snow and stands. Then he begins to gnaw at his trapped leg. Cut to a tunnel beneath the stench streets. A massive boulder is pushed aside by a two-headed giant. A bugbear in full plate, followed by a Yuntee, enter the tunnel. This will bring us directly to the west wall, hisses the Yuntee. The giant ducks through the opening and begins to walk, followed by a procession of armed creatures of different races. This is Jake, and I'm going to be your dungeon master.
This is Josh playing Xavier the Wizard.
Hey folks, Dan here playing Sylavar the Warlock.
What's good, fam? Matt playing Jidden Duskrin, the Arcane Trickster.
And this is Devin playing Moon Maiden Salai. I came for the drow. I stayed for the undead.
So when we left off, our heroes were about to go save some orphan children from a undead dragon. And my notes for this game are just the stats of the undead dragon. So
Perfect.
You guys go. What do you do?
I think that opening scene is Sylavar having just finished that letter by candlelight in our little cave headquarters. And as he finishes...
Sorry, the letter... the letter from Xavier.
Yes.
Xavier, okay.
Recounting the memory that he was able to pull from the devil, Euland. And as he finishes the letter, Sylavar crumples the note in his hand and looks up and he says, "We leave now."
You look and there's, it's just Salai. And she says, "You've been reading that for quite a while, Sylavar. We will find the children, but you need your strength.
"What do you mean?" He stands up.
This foe is beyond them, and it may be beyond us if we are not ready."
"Then I will die trying."
No, Sylavar, you will not throw your life away for this.
"You will not stop me."
She stands.
Where are we? Are we...
You're in the hideout,
Okay.
the claw rift.
Is there anyone
you
else
said it
here?
was just you, as if like, did we just
Well,
appear?
because I was setting up the hero's feast for...
Okay. Gotcha.
That's okay. I'll stop you.
So we're still in like the null magic.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought that there was...
I thought he like transported you
Yes.
away.
He steps beyond the null magic area and kind of squints around at everyone else as his eyes then refocus.
You must eat, Sylavar.
"We do not have time. You admitted yourself. The foe is great. Will all of you here remain?" He looks at his brother and at Xavier and Jim.
Jidden steps around from a column as you look for him, and he's in full ready gear. Sword at hip, armor on.
Does it look like time has passed? Like, is there like a jump in my memory?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, I thought when he said we're the only one, you've been here for a while.
I wanted to set up that.
I was confused.
I was so lost.
He really took us all to a
Yeah.
place.
I was trying to do 10-minute time skip.
Gotcha.
That I cast the hero's feast
Yep.
and then
He
came
says,
back.
"Fuck a hero's feast. We don't need that shit."
I mean, we desperately do, but
I
We
like
do.
it.
Yep.
Xavier snaps his fingers to your question, and there's you get like a little whiff of burnt brimstone, and Azun is back, and you see Azun kind of like it turns to Xavier and kind of hisses and then recoils a little bit. Xavier puts his hand down, and Azun eventually jumps up and runs up to his shoulder. Turns to look at you. Azun says, "The wizard said it's been 2 days. I think they're probably already dead. And the wizard is ill-prepared for a battle."
let's hope not. Otherwise, you die too.
Azun gets bumped up and down as Xavier just shrugs. And Azun kind of looks into his master's face.
Cannot your preparations be done as we travel?
No, we must do it here. It will protect us. I felt something in that grove, Sylavar. Something vile. Let me protect us against it. So that we may better protect your children.
How long?
1 hour.
An hour.
1 hour.
In 10 minutes.
It's already been 10 minutes because I did that little time skip.
Did you cast time stop on us?
Wow. No, it's the episode. It's been 2 weeks at this point.
Sylavar kind of pinches the bridge of his
Hey,
nose.
you want to take a note from Mr. fucking Min Minner?
Yeah. We
Yes,
better go
fucking
now.
fail.
We better go now.
Do you want to learn how to sub-optimize your...
Devin, I'll say this if you want to sweeten the argument. Do you have Windwalk?
I don't have it prepared because
okay.
the one spell for my level up I picked was Hero's Feast because I saw this nasty shit that Jake sent me in an email.
So, yeah, I was just going to say, you
could
offer
speed
to
the
get them
travel.
there faster. It's a high level spell slot to use for
It is. I didn't prepare it today. If you let me swap it out, I'll gladly take that.
You could make the argument.
Jake,
you
can
could
I-
get them there faster.
Can Xavier do a knowledge arcana on what he thinks the ability of a undead dragon would be?
And technically, we know that it would have been a day because the fire was a day old.
Yep.
So theoretically, it was
They left 2 days ago, but how long
their camp.
Yeah.
But we didn't come across them either.
Roll the 4.
A 4. Okay. What was the roll? What kind of roll?
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
18.
Oh, an 18.
Yeah.
You have a plus 14.
That's the new juice.
You know
Somebody asked me a history question quick.
you know that it's
What's the
probably-
history of Gold Dragon Zombies?
You know the general immunities of undead, right?
Okay.
Like you know that, and you also know it's probably gonna do a lot of necrotic damage.
I know dragons perhaps have a frightening presence, a unnatural.
you
Do
know
I
that.
think that?
Yeah, you know about that. Yep.
Okay. Azun says, the wizard, fool that he can be, he is ready to go now, if that is your wish. But these creatures, they maintain some of their draconic powers. There is a presence around creatures of their scale. Supernatural fear that goes beyond your simple mortal hearts.
And Salai's just looking at Sylavar.
He's biting his lip now. He's thinking. He's kind of walking back and forth.
I can take us there quickly. Very quickly. But only if you eat.
Fine. If it ensures our survival.
We can go to Dairy Queen, but only if you eat your vegetables.
It's all like peanut butter cups and pretzels on the Hero's Feast.
Nice. So you guys are gonna have a little hero feast before you go.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
1 hour. It's a short rest, right?
Yeah, it takes 1 hour to
What
consume.
do you do? Anything else?
I mentally check in with Lita.
Okay.
I say, kind of off on my own, I'm eating, and silently in his head, Xavier says, Lady Alita, I did not mean to disregard your wishes, but additional information I felt outweighed the need to destroy that creature.
You saw how weak that thing was.
Yes.
Any other who go to it and ask for information, it will freely give it up, including information about you. You must trust me, Xavier. I know what is in your best interest. You don't believe that. Not that I need to tell you that.
I need to know that you will be with me for this coming fight, even if what I ask is not what you're used to.
What is the alternative? I spend centuries on the floor of a mushroom grove in the horde of a dead dragon. Being with you seems preferable, I suppose.
Then we will be in it together.
If you need to escape, there won't be any doors nearby.
Then we'll have to, and instead of escape, we'll have to seek victory. You know our fates are entwined with our companions.
Sylavar is kind of pacing back and forth as Salai is in the kind of midst of this ritual. And he stops by the table where Jidden is writing. And he says, it seems for a moment that he's had a break in his concern for the children. And he says, did you find anything on Mother?
I did. Quite a bit, actually.
Oh, wait. You did recount all that,
Yeah.
didn't you? Never mind. He says, Mother intends to return home. I do not imagine she harbors any love for us. Likely she never did.
Pitrix did say that they would be especially looking out for us. That we betrayed her.
Sylavar kind of rocks back on his heels a little, thinking, it is in our interest then, brother, to maintain our course. Make sure our family does not return. You agree?
I do. And when I can get back to Euland and get more of the information we need, we can come up with a solid plan to stop her forever. Make her pay for what she's done.
We will need to know how she intends to return. You said there was a gate?
Yes. It would take great power. More than this Sylavar can muster.
Interesting. You see Sylavar kind of reach his hand up like he's touching something in the air and looking at it. He knows he's never used it, the power that he has, but he knows that he can close a gate if it's asked of him. He knows that he could undo the boundaries and let a gate collapse. He doesn't say anything, but he kind of puts his hand back down by his side. How much longer? Severe, do you know what she's doing?
Azun says, the wizard says you have supped this way before you faced Arbiter the first time.
Ah,
Arbiter.
that was a long time ago.
Yes. This time I shan't make the same mistake.
Flashback humor.
Dude, I forgot about that. You didn't eat which was cool.
That was very
but
cool.
Damn, it fucked you up.
Yeah.
So, Devin, what does Salai's Feast of Heroes look like?
It would be
Unicorn ham?
Yeah, all the cutlery is in like spiraled unicorn horn style. It's Sylavar. You'd recognize some of these things. Maybe not Jidden and Zavir, but they're foods from the surface. It's like a leg of venison, a pheasant. There's even like a big like basket of strawberries, and there are like rich spices and like jams on the table. It's like very aromatic. But there are things like mushrooms that are sprinkled in there, things that you recognize, root vegetables, but all amidst this like very like fragrant and colorful feast.
You see Azun runs around gathering fruits, things like that, and brings it over to this wine goblet. There's this decanter you have out there, and he's just squeezing them into it. And Zavir drops his cowl, and all he can do is lift that liquid to his throat, and there's this just kind of gurgling every time he swallows. It doesn't look comfortable or enjoyable.
Hot.
The smells, there's like vanilla bean that is like shaved onto like these little candles. So it tricks your brain into thinking that you're more full than you are.
I was watching my weight, so that's good.
I made those persevere.
Cool.
Sylavar kind of eats hurriedly. His focus clearly elsewhere. He's kind of watching everyone else as they eat, kind of waiting for that moment where it seems appropriate that he can push them out the door. And
you see some of the food start to just sort of like fall into like dust on the table. And like even some of the color of the food now, it's not there. And so the room seems to darken a little bit as after the hour, everything vanishes. 2d10.
Temporary hit points.
Hit point maximum increases by 2d10.
Whoa.
And
Weird.
it gains the same number of hit points.
Which is huge because that means you can still get temp HP
Mhm.
Yep.
over that.
Yep.
Of course.
2.
Ugh.
6.
Got 4.
I got 15.
Ooh. That's good for the tank.
Yeah, I got 13.
Can Azun eat it? He needs it. He only got 10 hit points.
Oh my god, it won't make a difference.
So this is raising our.
Your max HP and your current HP increase by 2d10.
Azun just doubled his hit points.
You're immune to poison and being frightened. You make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. That's it. Benefit lasts for 24 hours.
The frightened thing is huge.
Yep.
Mhm. That's the biggest thing.
Jake,
Yes, sir.
Windwalk is also a 6th level spell.
Okay.
I only have 1 slot.
Oh, okay.
So I cast Zero Feast. So we can't Windwalk.
All right.
So you lied.
I did,
Nice.
but he ate the food.
More good behavior.
Sylavar, as the food kind of dissipates, says, "We are ready then. Make haste. What is this power you summon?"
The power of friendship.
Sylavar's sword
You do not.
appears,
and he pushes you against the wall, and the sword goes to your neck.
Okay. Sick. I actually have just kidding.
He says,
I have something for this.
Adamantine neck.
Oh, you said the sword goes through my neck? How
it
about-
goes to your neck.
Oh, okay.
You're dead. No, your character's dead. He killed you.
Wow. Thanks, Jake. Thanks for helping me out on that.
I don't wear neck armor.
He says, "If my children are dead due to your delay, you will follow them." The sword disappears, and he's out into the hallways, working his way back through the claw rift,
Awesome.
up into the city.
Zavir
All right.
scurries along. Zavir believes that his children are dead.
Right.
Yep.
Fully.
Okay. You guys go to the mushroom forest. What is that place called again? That part of the city? Donigarten.
Sounds very German.
So you head to the forest hastily, and we'll cut to there. You're on that same hill overlooking the forest. Salai points out to where you felt that presence before, and you all see just a tremble of some of the mushrooms. As you watch for a while, you see that glint of gold. I guess there's no light really for it to glint off.
The
of.
mushrooms.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. So a lot of them are glowing. The whole forest of mushrooms sort of has this like ambient blue glow to it. And you make your way towards it.
Yeah.
As you get closer and closer to the sort of heart of the mushroom forest, that feeling of death, of decay, gets stronger and stronger. It just feels that you don't see any more of the things that tend the gardens. In fact, the growth here is thicker. If it wasn't, fungus and mushrooms, it would feel like this really good force of something is tending the garden and making it more verdant. But it starts to get overwhelming where it's difficult to make your way through here. Salai, because of that sort of commune with nature that you did before, you can kind of identify a lot of the different forms of fungus, and you point out a few things to avoid.
Shriekers.
Shriekers. Yep, they're on the thing I sent you.
I think she says to the group, sort of as we see this growth, she says, "Step lightly and beware the spores of the mushrooms. If they are damaged, they will release them. They'll alter your mind."
You can all tell when you start to get really close because of the stench, the smell of rot and decay, partially coming from the ground, from the soil. But as you get closer, it gets stronger and stronger, this sort of sour, rancid smell. And you feel the ground sort of shake. You know that this thing is close. And in the distance between the mushroom stalks, you see this long serpentine form. A gold dragon's this particular gold dragon. Imagine that sort of Asian style of like the serpent, like the long serpent like body, and you just see a little bit of it in the distance as it slithers through the trees.
Sylavar is gonna cast Armor of Agathis on himself.
Isn't that what's on the cover of your new Player's Handbook? Is it a gold dragon on a mushroom?
Yeah, I think so.
Sick.
Nailed it.
That's the special edition.
Yeah, the alternate
alt
art.
cover. Yeah.
Same price as the regular.
Any other castings? Pre-combat castings?
Don't really have many of those.
All right.
This thing's not resistant to fire, right? Did we know that?
I think all that Xavier relayed was the frightful aura, and he would have said something about
It being undead, right?
undead necrotic damage that expect that it will deal like damage related to death, and that it will be immune to the same.
Word. Yeah, I think Jidden will light up green flame blade. Green flame blade.
I tighten the straps on my armor. I'll cast Freedom of Movement.
You guys keep walking through this grove. The light is actually stronger here. Your eyes switch off of the infravision and to the normal spectrum, and you just see all these silhouettes of all these caps of mushrooms backlit by this blue glow. As you move deeper into the thick of the forest, it's brighter and brighter. There's more varieties of mushrooms here. And Salai, you notice that these mushrooms aren't tended to. All those kind of edible growths up in the tops of them are still there. They haven't been cut off. And you all see just the end of this creature, its tail, as it slithers into view for just a moment. This long, scaled, serpent-like body. The spine is sort of sticking out where its back has rotted away. You can see its entire spine along the back of the dragon, and the ribs underneath, and the skin sort of clinging tight to that rib cage, and the gold scales, every gold scale like kind of filled with mold, and it's kind of just moving through, and then it stops very quickly. That tail retracts. You see the legs, the hind legs for just a moment, these rotted, clawed legs. As it pulls its body out of view, you think it just realized that someone had entered its domain.
I pray for you that they are still alive. Sylavar is looking over at you, Salai, and then starts advancing.
Azun says, "Need prayers for us all to survive." And Xavier and Azun will cast Bless on the three of you.
Blessed.
D4.
D4. Attacks and saving throws. 1 minute. So we better kick this off pronto.
Nice.
Jidden knows how to do that.
Yeah, she looks to Jidden.
Leroy!
You hear like the creak of a one of these mushrooms that are the bases, the stalks are like wood almost, as one of them gets pushed out of the way by this clawed gold hand with these fetid, dirty claws at the end of it. And you just see the silhouette of this thing's head just on the edge of your vision as it pushes these mushrooms away and is watching you. You see these glowing green eyes. You can tell it's about to strike.
Sylavar.
Let's roll initiative.
Yeah.
I thought someone was going to try to talk to it.
It's a zombie.
17 for Xavier.
Doesn't talk much anymore.
13 for Sylavar.
12 after Sylavar.
13 for Jidden.
Ty's probably going to Jidden, I assume.
Yeah.
Yep.
13.5 for Jidden.
Can I use a spell? Can I?
On your turn.
Okay.
No, I don't know. What are you?
It's going to be enhance ability to give Jidden advantage on his dexterity checks.
How long does it last?
Up to 1 hour.
Yeah, you could have done that.
You have the cat's grace. She puts a cat's whisker, like tucks it in your little, your lapel.
Is that concentration?
It is.
So is Bless. So don't expect it to last too long.
Word.
You all see those eyes peer at you, and then you don't see this because it's in the dark, but it does that thing like a cat where it kind of wiggles its back of its body, and then suddenly it pounces forward. That whole long serpentine body just charges out of those mushrooms right at all of you.
It goes first.
It goes first.
Oh boy.
Shite.
And it comes right into the middle of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll to see who it attacks. Yeah, D4. It's 4 of you, right? Okay,
I was wondering if this guy had a breath weapon.
he might. Josh.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Just going to kick
Hot out of
this
the
blessed
gate.
dice right off of that.
Yeah, I'm going to cross off my plus real quick.
That's gone.
Safe bet. Josh, what's your armor class?
Your fucking business. 17?
Better than me.
Shield.
Jesus Christ.
Don't know if it'll matter.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Doesn't sound like shield will protect you.
I say Jesus Christ when I rolled 1s and 2s sometimes.
I think just regardless, Zavir sees this thing come at him and he casts shield.
What's that make it?
22.
Okay. That made one of them miss.
Worth it.
It's a big deal.
Well, is he a classic dragon?
Yeah.
Bite, claw.
Claw.
Yep.
Wing
It
buffet,
made the
tail?
bite. No, it's claw bite. And he
Okay.
made the bite miss.
Doesn't bite usually immediately come with like a
Swallow?
grab or swallow? Yeah.
Can.
It's something.
It comes with something else for him.
What size is this creature?
Huge.
Huge.
Huge. It's the biggest dragon, maybe the biggest ever.
I rolled really bad for damage.
82.
Exactly.
It comes in fast. You're the first target in its path. That bite hits a mushroom stalk and just breaks it in half. But those two claws come up and knock you back and forth like a cat. Again, playing with a mouse.
Yeah.
You take. Do you need them separately?
I do.
You do. Okay.
Just for the concentration checks, which
Okay. Yep. You take 13 from the first one.
DC 10.
And 13 from the second one.
Okey-dokey.
You got this. 2 DC 10s.
Got advantage. Made it.
Yep.
Made it.
Blessed.
Nice.
I have
Wow. Did you only make that because of advantage there?
yeah.
Okay.
I have the Eldritch invocation.
Awesome.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Eldritch Mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed to make sense for him.
Dan.
Yeah.
You won the bonus action attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
As it bites and tears off that mushroom stalk, this cloud just sort of seeps out of its mouth. This cloud
So
of
not the attack I was hoping
spores. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
I wish I had prepared spells for this.
Is this poison?
No.
Is this all
Well-
of us or just Dan?
I'll let you. What's the spell?
I mean, Hero's Feast makes us immune to poison.
Oh, it's not poison.
I made a pretty good roll. I rolled a 16, so that's a 22.
You made it.
Nice.
Awesome. You hold your breath.
Interesting.
Yeah. You don't want to breathe in that spore. You just know. You're like, I definitely don't want to breathe that. So you kind of take a deep breath. And Zavir, what do you do?
As a bonus action, you see Zavir, his eyes kind of grit, and that blue eye glows, and his face in this like bioluminescence obviously already looks pretty horrific. It becomes like amplified, almost supernaturally. It's his grim visage. So he gains some temp HP.
That a boy.
Can't be frightened. So
Good job.
already have
Just
that.
the bravest one of the bunch.
Super duper. 12 HP. I needed those. And he doesn't think he's going to have a lot if this thing focuses on him. He just sees it move, points a finger, and something you've never seen Zavir do. You see a bright, radiant bolt shoot from his fingers.
Ooh.
Prepared. Guiding bolt.
Nice.
I think he probably sucked that out of the unicorn.
Uh,
Sly.
Does a 21 hit?
21 hits.
Because that's his other portents. He had
Okay.
a 12. So Guiding bolt at 5th level.
Is this radiant damage?
Radiant damage.
Okay.
Is that anything?
It's not.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Nice try.
That's too bad. I had some of that stored up too.
Probably just because it's kills things too fast. Yeah.
There's like certain shadows that
Yeah.
are specifically vulnerable to it.
So the next attack has
There's
advantage.
very few things that actually take extra damage from things. I learned that was Torox. Like, I don't think I ever fought anything that took extra damage from anything.
Roll very well. 35
Ooh.
radiant damage.
What's that look like? Kills it.
Nice, dude.
It's just this bright, supernaturally bright light. It just streaks out. You see Azun kind of, says the words and then recoils as it comes ripping past him, like he's uncomfortable with it. And it blasts in the creature, and your eyes kind of all flash for a second as it lingers on its chest, kind of this iridescent sparkle kind of ringing it for a short time. And Xavier he moves a bit back as he does that.
Okay, cool. Jidden.
Guiding bolt gives advantage, correct?
On the next
Yes.
attack roll,
Next
yeah.
person who
Right.
attacks it.
So this thing comes diving in, claws and jaws gnashing and swinging, and Jidden just kind of like steps off to the side as this thing engages with his party, and he stabs at it. 26 to hit.
That's a hit.
That's going to be, oh crap, 14 piercing, 6 fire, and I got the D6. An additional 24 piercing for sneak attack.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I think he's going to take a risk that this thing doesn't have an attack of opportunity, and he's just going to try to like hide under its massive bulk, like behind its legs or under its carapace, so that it can't like see him.
So you're going to try to like hide?
Yeah, not disengage, because I
Okay.
don't. I would rather hide than
Okay.
actually move away. So I'm just kind of like,
You have advantage on that stealth check.
like hiding between its
Okay.
legs, just trying to get
so
out of vision.
First thing, when you attack it, you find places where the scales have sort of rotted away, and you get your blades in. But then, as you pull that blade out, this nasty, rotten blood comes out with it, and it's hot. You take 13 necrotic damage.
Oh, you can add 5 more piercing to that. I forgot my sneak attack went up to 76.
Okay.
Not 6.
And
13, you said?
Yep. And then go ahead and give me a hide check.
25.
I'm going to say it's at disadvantage because you're like staying in melee. So
Okay, I'll roll.
Yep.
25.
Still 25.
Yeah.
Nice.
With reliable talent, it's
Oh yeah.
if I roll
Okay.
below a 10, it's still a 10. So
Cool.
Jake, one thing, if you can make a wisdom save DC 15. I forgot to do this. I haven't done this before. I'm assuming it makes it.
Made it.
what was
That's
it?
got to be a typo.
That was from my
No.
my horrid visage. When I strike a creature, it makes a wisdom save, or it will be frightened of me for 1 round. Just funny.
That would have been cool. That would have been
Would
good.
have been cool.
Oh, it's immune to fear. It's undead.
Oh yeah.
Never mind then.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get right in close to it where you think you're hidden. Yeah, you don't think it's kind of lost track of where you are. Maybe it's just focused on the other people.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sylavar.
Sylavar begins with those kind of guttural utterances as he curses the dragon in front of him. And then he's going to take 2 quick cuts at it. 26 and 25.
Both hit.
A 21 hit. For the record.
Thank you.
What'd you get? Hattie boy.
I forgot a lot. 26?
Very high.
Something plus 11.
That's 46 damage.
Whew.
Nice.
How many attacks is that?
2 attacks.
All right. You take 10 necrotic from the first attack and 9 necrotic from the second attack.
5 and 4.
Yeah. Because you have it.
Yep. And that's like, it's the blood spilling out onto me.
Correct.
So it wouldn't be like my armor of Agathis wouldn't affect it.
Yeah. It's basically the
But it
same
does
thing.
wear down my armor.
If 2 warlocks fight each other, do their armor of Agathis just keep hitting each other?
That's a great question. So that was 9 damage.
Yes, 9 total. Devin, Salai.
That guiding bolt, that light from it still hasn't faded. And we just see Salai's face, her blue eyes being projected by the circlet, and that moon symbol. It catches that light and they are white for just a moment. And then Salai snaps her fingers and that white light grows and appearing in her hand. It's this small, it's the size of a marble, but it is immensely bright. And this dragon, it swings its head around and then just a beam of sunlight bursts at this thing. Give me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage since you are undead.
Oh, I rolled a 1 on one of those dice. So that's a 14.
Fail.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Take 27 radiant damage and you are blind until
Ooh.
Spicy.
until
Fuck
my
out of
next turn.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
This is a sunbeam.
Okay.
For the duration of this spell, so that beam goes off, and then Salai holds her hand up aloft,
Okay.
and that mote of brilliant radiance shines in my hand. Bright light for 30 feet, dim light for an additional 30 feet. This light is sunlight.
Okay.
What level is that shit?
This is a 6th level spell. I'm using a 7th level
What's that
slot
do to
cast
everyone else in the party?
it. Anyone who is adversely affected by sunlight would be affected by it, but it goes 60 feet.
Okay.
I think we're all within 60 feet.
Yeah.
Silence.
No one moved.
Sylavar is not
I
affected.
backed up a little bit, but not enough to be.
Yeah,
out of
she
that.
like steps up like in front of you and then just conjures this
Is
thing.
it like a beam or is it like a glow, like a aura?
There is a mote of light the size of
Yep.
a marble floating above my hand, and it emits light out to
I see.
60 feet.
Okay.
That's not great.
It roars and it kind of rears up. When it does so, it is above the mushrooms. The mushrooms actually start to wither immediately. And you all, with that withering, you all hear this shrieking sound coming from the entire forest. The roar of this thing and then the shrieking in the distance. And it lifts up its head and it just breathes out this slime.
Gross.
This writhing slime comes out of its mouth.
Hate it.
Its breath weapon is breath of slime and maggots.
Yo.
Gnarly.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's 2 plagues in
Horrible.
one.
But before we do that, at the top of this round, everyone give me the environmental trait. This round is the shriek or scream. So everyone give me a wisdom saving throw. Keep in mind you have advantage. Or remember what we're doing with this is if you want to use you all have advantage, so you probably want to roll.
And
but
bless.
if you want to use a spell slot to avoid the effects, you can.
Yeah, and you guys have bless.
Yeah. I rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
So
I rolled a nat 20 and a 4.
Yeah.
on
If you
the-
can explain to me how you use some sort of spell or any sort of thing like that to prevent it, then feel free.
Fail.
Otherwise,
fail, Bruins.
15.
okay. You are deafened and have -2 on all rolls this turn.
Wow, real Helen Keller player.
I can see. Oh no, I can't.
I'm gonna use a spell slot.
Okay.
As this breath of slime comes out.
Well, the it's for the
The shrieking scream.
That'll be a separate save.
We can't roll and then choose to you either roll or you.
Yeah.
I step back and I'm standing next to Zavir and I put my hand on his head and you feel this power, this like humming. Essentially, I'm going to use a spell slot to do lesser restoration to negate the effects of Zavir's
Severe?
failure.
I think he.
No, I think
he
it's it's more of a personal.
Yeah.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm
you
good.
can't get you don't want anything that gives an extra advantage of like using a spell as like a free spell.
and it's I want it to be roll or use.
Oh, okay.
Or
Okay.
use
So, well, I
I mean,
rolled anyways.
you also could. I mean, you could do that after the effect has happened, right?
On his turn, he can.
Yes. Yeah.
But this will only last a turn. So that's just the environmental effect. That a layer action, if you will. On his turn, he is doing his breath weapon. So everyone, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Jidden should be fine.
Plus a D4.
Thank you.
Can you cast spells if you're deafened?
If they require a verbal component, no.
24 for
That seems
Jidden.
silly.
It's actually not.
Jidden takes none, right?
Correct. Evasion.
14 for Sylavar.
And it's a
Was
fail.
it deck save?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a breath weapon.
I got a
13.
20 the hard way.
20 makes it. What did you get, Salvar?
14.
14. What did your imp get?
Oh yeah. What's this magic? Is this a magic effect?
Yeah.
Okay, it has advantage. 16.
Failed.
Bum, 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 bum.
Pour a zoom.
How does this work, Bruins? Not good, huh?
It's got a couple spells.
You gotta
That's going to
send him out
be
of combat.
that's going to be
need him.
40 necrotic damage.
4-0?
4-0.
4-0.
Half for Silai and none for Jidden.
Half for me, too.
Oh yeah, what was your save?
14.
14's a fail. Oh, you take half necrotic,
Yep.
right?
I need to make a DC 20 concentration check.
Oh yeah, so do I.
Saphir, how are you feeling?
Bless is gone.
Oh, you had the temporary hit points that you'd be down, right?
I would have been at 8. I'm at 20 instead.
All right. Bless, you failed the concentration for Bless? Okay.
Do I still get bless on my saving throw?
Yeah, just
Asking for a
timing
friend.
work on that.
That's a great question.
Yeah, because it would
Sure.
be, it's the thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
triggered it.
yeah.
Because the bless
The Bless made it.
made it.
So the blessing of Shar protects you.
I'll take it where I can get it.
Take it where you can get it. So for those of you who failed the saving throw, that's Dan and Josh, right? So Devin, you mostly get out of the way of this. So you take 20.
Yep.
And you feel this sort of slime burning at your skin, and you see that there's like maggots writhing around in it. You miss the brunt of it. Zavir and Sylavar. Zavir, you look down at your hand and you see maggots start to burrow into your skin.
Oh my God. Jay.
Gnarly.
Every turn on your turn, Sylavar and Zavir, every turn on your turn, you take 2d6 necrotic damage. Until the breath weapon refreshes.
Interesting.
Oh, that's good.
So we're
good.
really hopeful that it refreshes.
Oh God.
Like bot flies.
Zavir, your turn.
How you doing, bud?
2d6.
Okay, so
2d6 necrotic.
on my turn?
Yep.
That's good timing. 11.
Max.
Oh.
All right, so I can't see anything because of my ally. my imp is gone, so
Are you blind? You're not blind.
sunlight. I have disadvantage on any attack or anything like that. My imp is gone, so I can't cast anything with a verbal component.
So you're deaf. You're blind.
Deaf, blind,
You can't talk.
can't talk,
You have maggots burrowing into your skin.
and I have 9 hit points
And
left.
you have 9 hit points.
Sounds like a regular day.
Sorry, I just have to check one thing if I can do this again. Form of Dread is a bonus action. Okay, so I can... No, I guess it doesn't... Because if you lose the temporary hit points, they don't go away. It lasts for a minute, so I can't do it again. until the minute passed. I would interpret that
Temporary
as-
hit points go away as soon as they're.
No, but my
Yep.
form of dread, that thing, I have multiple uses of it, but it lasts for a minute. The temporary hit points are gone, but the effect is still there. So I'm just saying I don't think I can do it again to get
Okay.
more
In that
hit
minute's
points.
time.
So yeah. Okay. Whew. I going to try to heal myself. I'm
You can use the
gonna have to use the ring.
meta magic.
You
thing.
still have a healing potion.
I don't.
You used it?
I didn't have it.
I thought
There's two of them.
You and I both had them.
I didn't have it. I think it was you and Jidden.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
So yeah, I will just heal myself.
Okay.
Use a 4th level spot. Doing a lot of cleric stuff over here, except for getting my ass kicked. So yeah, that's it.
Severe.
And then
You're blind, but you know there's light. Like you see this form, this blur in the light as this thing rears up, and you see the forms of your allies. You can't really tell who is who because the light is so bright. But then something else comes into focus for just a second. You swear that stepping out of the mushrooms, you see a man, a human man, in a bloody robe. Just for a moment.
okay, I'm pretty maxed out input wise, so I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, that's it.
All right. How much do you heal?
21. I'm up to 30.
Okay.
Nice. Just in time for the next breath.
No, recharged on a 5-6. Jidden.
Oh,
You're doing good.
shit.
What?
I need to roll a d6 because I have armor of hexes. Anytime it hits me, I roll the armor of hexes to see if it actually hits me.
Is that if you're targeted with an attack or something like that?
I'll look it
I
up.
don't know.
I'll
Yeah,
it
look that up because I don't
because
know.
it's a breath weapon. It might be
yeah,
area
it's an area
effect.
Usually
I'm
that
not
doesn't
sure.
apply.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jidden, what are you doing?
As this maggoty slime oozes from this thing, Jidden he rolls back out of the way of it, kind of keeping this thing's legs between him and this ooze that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
As he does, he reaches into a pouch, pulls out a piece of licorice root, and mutters under his breath, "Brother, it's time to speed this up," and casts haste on himself.
Nice.
And then with second action, will take a stab with his rapier. Oh,
You gotta-
You do have advantage. It's blind.
but I'm in light, so
Yeah.
disadvantage.
Just straight roll.
So
Yep.
straight roll.
How long does that
That's cocked.
sunbeam last?
The round, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. 22 to hit.
Hit.
Jake, it says if the target cursed by your Hexblade's curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction.
It's not an attack roll.
Okay,
Yeah, because there's no roll.
cool. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good.
Oh, Sunbeam. Up to 1 minute concentration.
I mean, it's putting a. It doesn't matter for me.
I'm
Well,
gonna-
he's figuring that out.
I'm gonna move away.
Dan, what is Sylavar doing?
Sylavar is he kind of sheds, like one hand kind of flicks. He's trying to flick the maggots off of him as they burrow into his skin, and he grits his teeth, and then he takes another 2 attacks at the dragon.
So that is 28. That is 38 piercing, 20 fire,
Jesus Christ.
and then I will use bonus action to disengage, and he'll
Okay.
move away from this thing.
All right. So a couple things are going to happen here. The attack, you take 14 damage, necrotic damage. Sorry, adding up the damage you just did because it's a lot. And then when you move away, you disengage, but it has a special reaction.
Ooh, nice.
So it attacks you, and I'll describe what happens after I roll. What's your armor class?
20.
All right. Hits. And then you take 15 damage as you move away. Its tail whips around and swipes you. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
15 damage?
Yep.
I will use... But I haven't used my reaction. I'll use Uncanny Dodge to half that to 7.
Cool.
Round up.
Round down. Always round down.
Down?
Yep.
And then dex save?
Yep.
Is sunlight wipes away the advantage, or do I keep
No,
it
it's
from...
attack rolls and ability checks. I think you still get saves.
It's a natural 18, so 28.
You're good. If you failed, you'd be knocked prone instead of moving. Yeah,
Sweet.
so it's got a reaction whenever an enemy attempts to move within 20 feet or disengage, it can use its tail swipe.
Oh, that's
Cool.
fucking cool.
Yeah, so you're all kind of aware of that now. I was like, damn, no one moved on the first round. And then you do manage to move away.
Sweet.
Sylavar,
What's the size type again?
huge.
Okay. That's insane. Sylavar, as he kind of grits his teeth and refocuses on the beast before him, he takes 2 slashes at it. The first one kind of buries into it, and I presume I take some necrotic damage.
Mhm.
And then the second one, when it connects, there's a bright flash and then like a boom as it sends a shockwave through it.
Okay.
I'm going to use my Eldritch Smite.
Ooh.
And it does 1d8 per spell slot level. I'm going to use my 7th level spell slot.
Oh,
And you can knock the target prone if it's huge or smaller.
wow.
So that crack of energy just kind of, it's like a concussive force. Like if something were to explode underwater, doesn't have a huge range, but it kind of bursts and implodes in that one spot. And it's kind of like rocked maybe 10 feet sideways onto its side.
Crazy.
That's really cool.
What's the damage total from
80.
all of this? From
79,
all of those?
excuse me, 79.
79?
Yep.
And you took 8 from the maggots,
Okay.
and you take 10 from the first attack, 8 from the second attack.
Is that halved or not?
None of those are
Okay.
halved.
8 from
So total of
4, 5, and
4, 5, 4, yeah.
And you roll your 2d12?
13.
my 2d12.
2d6
Or
for the
2d6,
maggots.
right.
That's what-
I
yeah.
rolled it for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I just gave him all the totals. You, when this thing literally goes crashing into these mushrooms, it's not moving. Salai, you for a moment think that he's destroyed it, but then as you're looking, you see these maggots and worms start writhing out of its body and covering it and chewing away at it the way they do to something that's dead. And you see it's actually regenerating.
I walk closer to this thing
Okay.
and I hold that sunlight out in front of me now in 2 hands, like I'm holding a bowl of water. This very reverently, and she says some magical words. She says, "Let your moon be my light, and I shall let my sword be your shining symbol." And then she bursts her hands out and conjures another sunbeam at where these maggots are coming out.
Okay.
It would be a dex save if it has one.
It fails because it's prone.
That's good. 18, 21, 27, 28 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
It's just burning away these maggots and
They're literally like catching fire and like falling off of this thing, but you see the tail sort of twitch, and it starts to twitch faster and faster, like it's not dead.
I cannot destroy it.
Where is its lair? Sylavar kind of calls out to you across this opening, this clearing.
She doesn't have the wherewithal to ask it. She's just focusing on this beam.
Are we sort of out of initiative order?
No, I'm going to
Okay.
keep initiative order.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna. It's So basically, what's going to happen here? It's at negative hit points, but I'm going to roll to heal it on its turns, unless you guys keep burning away at it or something.
Can Sylavar? Well, whose turn is it?
It's its turn right now.
Okay.
You see those wounds continue to close. It's twitching and moving and trying to like almost claw at the ground.
I imagine, sometimes there's those nature videos that show like a decomposing like carcass as it's like being covered by maggots.
Yep.
A time lapse.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it looks like.
Scrumptious.
What are you guys doing? Xavier?
Am I still deaf and blind?
Oh, hold on. I don't know. I think the light is still there.
But he moved over.
Yeah, Salai has moved up to be essentially right next to this thing, sort of throwing away all caution.
So how far did you push it?
I mean, I was just making it up. It gets knocked prone.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I figured since it's
you
huge,
can step back out of it.
All right.
You take 5 necrotic.
The deafen thing end? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Sorry, that was just for the turn.
Anyway.
Yep.
Can I try a Arcana check to understand what would destroy this creature?
Yeah.
There's 1.
You rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1. So I think I'm just too.
Yeah, you're
thinking about the homeless dude that just came out of
I have maggots chewing on me.
Yep.
So that's it.
Good stuff.
Salai says, its magic is not confined to its body. The spores, the mushroom grove, it is one being.
Then we have to find the gem. We have to find the children and be away from this place.
Go.
Sylavar sets off running.
Okay. Are the rest of you going with him?
I think Salai stays behind.
Okay.
With the sunbeam.
Sylavar, you go towards its lair, deeper into the grove, and you find this like very wet sort of cavernous area, and in the water and in the slimy muck, you see coins and goblets and gems and all kinds of stuff everywhere. You see just like treasure chests, literal trunks. Give me a perception check.
Sure.
Anyone who's with him can do the same.
Jidden definitely would have
Yep.
followed.
You said treasure and then Jidden.
Xavier, did you go as well, or did you stay with Salai?
I think Xavier is kind of stumbling off. He maybe trying to keep an eye on where they're going, but he's not going to do anything until the maggots stop eating him. He's got to figure out if
It stops that next turn. Actually,
okay.
Yeah.
18 on my perception check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So you're still there
On the periphery.
Xavier?
Yeah.
Okay. And Salai, what are you doing to deal with this thing?
Any place where those maggots are, like that, they're sort of bursting forth. I'm redirecting that sunbeam to burn them away.
All right. So you kind of focusing on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Oh, I cast Animate Dead and I fucking raised this thing.
There you go.
Smart.
34 radiant.
Okay. It's more than a healed.
Protect our treasure trove.
Jidden, you find what you must be looking for. You find this enormous black opal.
Cool.
Yep. And you grab it. Salvar, you're not as concerned about that.
Sure.
Right? You're looking
Yeah.
for your kids.
Yep.
And as you're searching, tell me, what kind of powers do they have?
Morgana is a sorceress.
Mhm.
So she's pretty capable. I mean, she's been alive for like probably 50 years.
Okay.
And Malachi is I forget what type of fighter they are, but the one that kind of has magic.
Yeah.
So not a lot. But
You're running around this cavern looking for them when suddenly, and in your panic, you forgot that she could do this. A rope drops out of nowhere, and you see them climb out of this extra dimensional pocket.
I embrace them as they climb down. I kind of put my head to theirs and I said, "You are both fools, but I love you."
Did you kill it?
I am not sure it can be, but we are holding it down as long as we can until I could find you. We have to hurry.
Morgana says, "Father, we have to tell you."
I know it all. Just follow me. And he turns and begins running out of the lair.
Awesome. Gain an inspiration.
Yep.
Jin, anything else?
Does he see any books?
Books?
Probably not.
Probably not. They'd be like moldy and
The
really
apartment's
fucked up.
rich mahogany.
Not a big reader.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe if he just robbed people, took stuff, that might be something. But I think he's
there's probably objects.
Whatever was on corpses when they died.
yeah. I have a +2 Arcana. If he gets a whiff of something being magical, he might try to swipe it. But I think realistically, his main goal in following Sylavar in here was to make sure the kids were going to be okay. But the opal was a nice little extra.
All right, Zavir, what are you doing?
Some of the pain and distraction having gone away, he sees that Salai is kind of just tied up on maintaining the damage to this thing. He's going to try it again. He's going to try to investigate, see the effects of what it's doing.
Sure. Go ahead.
23.
You think that what Salai said is true. You remember learning a little bit about mushrooms, about myconoids, probably the race of mushroom people that are an enemy of the drow. And you remember learning that they are all sort of one organism. And you think that that's probably the case here. And because of that, you think the only way to really kill this thing would be to either get it out of the forest completely or to just completely destroy the body. And I mean, it's literally huge. Like that's a lot of meat, to completely destroy. So something like disintegrate, or something like that would do it. But eventually it's going to be restored if you leave any of the meat behind.
Okay.
You see probably out of the corner of your eye, there are now 4 figures running towards you.
Couple mini Sylavars.
Zavir kind of stands up from this thing's corpse a little unsteadily, and he puts a hand on Salai's shoulder and just shakes his head and points away.
Her face is like gritted in this like intense focus. She hears a sort of, she's experiencing these words on the wind. I'm going to quote R.A. Salvatore here for a little bit. If you allow me.
Fucking Johnny come lately.
Right?
We're at an hour 17. Give her a breath.
What place is this that is my world? What dark coil has my spirit embodied? In light, I see my skin is black. In darkness.
It's the drama police.
Yeah, see, you said my skin is black and the popo showed up. You see how that shit works?
Wow. It's like a conjure spell.
In light, I see my skin is black. In darkness, it glows white in the heat of this rage I cannot dismiss. And I think this sunbeam, seeing how it's only barely sort of affecting this organism, this rage is growing inside of Salai.
Thinking the barbarian level.
And I'm going to cast another spell. And I'm going to cast Conjure Elemental. And this white, like these maggots that are on fire, the fire grows, and a fire elemental is born from this fire.
It runs away. Doesn't like you.
Is your history?
It knows why you
Sorry, it's a
conjured
cool
it.
dramatic moment. Go on.
And then my bonus action, that fire travels up that sunbeam as I'm losing concentration on it, and the fire overtakes Salai as well. And as my bonus action, I'll use 2 of my wild shapes
Oh, shit.
to also transform into a fire elemental.
Oh my god.
And these fire elementals just start swirling around each other like this vortex and just start burning this forest.
Cut to you're all back in the city. Salai's not back yet. You're on the streets of the Many Folks district. A lot of people have come out on the streets. Everyone is looking to the east, to the southeast, watching the fires burn the mushroom groves, burn the source of food for Mesa Branson.
Just good guy stuff.
The fires grow. You hear murmurs in the crowd. What will we do? Well, in there.
Nice.
Gonna bright
Take
spot of
put a
hope.
stain on your humanity.
Yeah. That's so vampire. Like, I did the right thing.
in a city.
Thank you for listening to A Tangled Web. Please, if you have time, tell a friend, write us a review, or, just go out and shout it on the rooftops. Check out all of our different social media platforms. You can go to our website and find links at the bottom. There's probably also links on whatever you're listening to right now. That's nastygramrpg.com, and definitely check out the socials because I tend to put little things on there to help with NPCs and visual aids and whatnot. Our intro music was by A Wilhelm Scream. Theme song is Oath by Adrian von Ziegler. All scores by Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Marttikainen. Thanks for listening.
That's nasty.
You don't have survival? What kind of fucking shit ass fucking moon maiden are you?
Sorry, what'd you ask me?
That was awesome.